All right, hello and welcome. Today we're doing another demo reading. I have a 5-1 emotional generator here. And so I will begin with some foundational elements and then work my way into this personality magic resonance square, which is something I'm very fond of and I find it extremely fascinating to explore. And so the first thing that comes to me is, as I stated already, this is an emotional generator. You can see that because the solar plexus here is defined, and there's two channels connecting it to the root. And this root has the 360 connecting it to the sacral. And so this means that there is somebody who is sensitive to the needs of life, somebody who has a fixed relationship with fate and a strong sense of desire in this life. They're coming through a mutative, the individual format energy. And so this results in a pulse that is either there or it's not in the moment. And so in the moment, there can be strong mutative pulses coming through that bring change to this person's life. It could potentially keep them up all night, for instance, as one example of a mutation. Maybe you're fervently writing or drawing or creating something. On the other side of the split definition, we have a 4323. This is the structurer. This is somebody who can communicate reality from their own unique perspective in a way that can influence the unconscious of other people's minds and even their conscious personality. And it can give structure to reality itself that other people can pick up on. And so what kind of structure are they communicating? Well, we can see from the first lines of this unconscious profile, the sun and earth, that they're coming from a foundational level. They're coming from a level that is insecure and is seeking solid foundations. It's seeking understanding and comprehension. And it's in the unconscious, so it's not something the person directly knows about or identifies with. However, it is the unconscious foundation that their body is moving through, and it comes out of their fixed mind. And so we know this person is emotional. We know that they need to wait to make decisions. For in the defined solar plexus inner authority, this gives the keynote that there is no truth in the now. Truth is only found over time. And so what kind of a truth might this person find if they're following their type strategy and inner authority? Inner authority being emotional, waiting for clarity, type strategy being a generator. So there is no need to initiate life. There is simply the waiting for life to come to you and the response to what shows up and trusting that response, being with the response. There's no need to mentally control and override the body's response. There is simply the respect for the body in its life. And if this individual can follow that, then they're opening up into this personality resonance square. This is my favorite stuff. And so right here in the 32, we have the focus of this mind. And so essentially this moon right here is what opens up to this square. It's what is the focal point. It is the focus of this personality. And so we're coming in through this 32nd gate in the 5th line. This is the duration of continuity in the line of flexibility. So this person's ability to actually be flexible in life is what opens up the doorway into their entirely unique resonance map. This is what opens the doorway into their unique intelligence potential, is this flexibility. Another name for it is the adaptation. So we have adaptation and flexibility in life opens up a portal, opens up a doorway into unique intelligence. And where we're going next is right over here to the personality Mars. This is the mutation coming through, the game player, preponderance of the great in the line of adventurism. So this game player is around taking risks. This is around, is it really worth it to struggle? Is it worth it to fight for what you believe in? And this person's adventurism or their nature of the gambler, for this is the 3rd line, this is deeply materialistic, trial and error, school of hard knocks, making mistakes and learning from them, and really, really learning from them, really understanding on a strong personal foundational level. And this is what's worth fighting for, what's worth risking your life for. There's a mutation coming through this person, and it's only accessible through the adaptability and the flexibility of their moon that then opens up this potential of risks being taken and a deep, deep wisdom around the risks. For you see, this 28th gate rests in the splenic center, and this is one of the undefined centers. So this person's mutation, it doesn't have to do with what is fixed in their life. It has to do with a mutation of wisdom around risks and what kind of risks are truly worth taking or not. And in going through this process of taking risks, there is one way to stabilize this structure, and that is through, well, the personality Saturn. This is where punishment comes through if you're not correct, and this is what really is a sticking point for holding together a unique perspective. And so we have the ordering difficulty at the beginning in the line of immaturity. This is also called humble progression. What a nice little way to take immaturity. Because here we have the second line. If you know anything about the second line, you know that it is naturally determined in its order, in its structure, in its way. And so this third gate of chaos, this gate of ordering things, this difficulty at the beginning, this is about the newness of creating a situation or a circumstance and how difficult it can be to get through it. And the way this person does that is through their immaturity or through their humbled progression. And so this means that there can be a natural determination around the way in which this person is holding the line, so to speak, holding things down and retaining personal integrity. And it can come through something we could call immaturity. So they might make a silly joke, or they might do something in a way that doesn't seem super mature, and that could be correct for them. And if they try to force themselves to not be immature, if they try to force themselves to pretend progress that hasn't actually been achieved, to pretend to have achieved progress that hasn't been realized yet, in doing this, they would find extreme troubles in their life if they're trying to maintain a unique stability. For you see, as nine-centered humans alive today, it is about being the extreme within the extreme at rest. It's about being yourself in a way that no one else ever could. No one else has the right to. Only you do have the right to be yourself. And so this person has some element of immaturity in there. And if they try to force it away or to hide it, that could be a problem. So we see that we have this opening focus of adaptability coming into somebody who's taking risks and somebody who can actually stabilize themselves through their immaturity, in a sense, through owning their maturity progress and not faking it, essentially. And so along that pathway of their immaturity, there's coming in this personality Uranus. This is the unique sidetrack, the unique path for the individual, the 19th gate in the 6th line. This gives wanting, the gate of approach in the line of the recluse or reclusiveness. And so I happen to have this line myself, 19.6, and I really enjoy this exaltation. This is the fool on the hill, the sage, that if you can find him, will talk to you. The energy which generally fuels avoidance. So this is a general avoidance, but it's not exclusive avoidance. This is somebody who has a unique way about things because they have a 6-line relationship to this 19th gate. This 19th gate is about the fundamental needs of the tribe and of humans in general. You know, we need food, we need family, we need touch. We need personal relations. We need some kind of a spiritual, bigger picture. We need something grand to be a part of. And this person has that 6-line relationship to this in their personality Uranus. This is giving a circuit level connection to the needs of the tribe. This could be somebody who can be clued into what the needs of other people are. They could be so clued into other people's needs that if their mind was ruling their life, that could allow them to ignore their own needs for the benefit of somebody else's needs. Because at least if that person is healthy and happy and they're around me, then I can feel good, you see. And so the truth of this is that this person needs some time alone. Like everybody else, we all need time alone. And this person needs time to be in their own wanting, to be in their own waiting, alone and away from others, so that others can actually come to them when they're needed. And they're not out there in the world spewing stuff that doesn't need to be said, because they're in their process and they're allowing others to pull it out from them. Now, the last point I want to make here on this differentiation diagonal, which is what I've been exploring essentially. We come in from the moon, there's a mutative potential in the Mercury, which opens up to everything in this square. And then from this, or rather not Mercury, from the Mars, my apologies. And this center Mars position has access to everything around here in the full square itself. And so on the diagonals, we have a unique individual path that someone is traveling. And the truth is found in the personality Pluto. This is one's inner, unique, individual truth. This is something we can strive for. This is something that can feel like it's off in the distance, and it takes time for it to reveal itself. And in many lives, it may never truly become manifest or realized. And it's the nature of what happens when we listen to our minds and take this conceptualization system too seriously and allow it to rule the life of the body, which is fundamentally abuse. And so the truth this person can realize, the 9th gate in the 5th line, this is the focus of faith, the taming power of the small. Trust is another name for this line. And so this 9th gate is about focusing in on small details so that we can actually understand these little pieces and how all these small things come together to make a bigger picture. And so this is the line of faith. This is being able to see that the loyalty to the letter of the law, the power to focus and bring value to concentration. This is the exaltation of this line of faith. The detriment is, like the mystery of God, doubt engendered through the perceived illogic of a process, where the lack of power to concentrate leads to doubt. And so for this person, they can realize a great faith in their life. They can recognize a truth that is universally powerful, that is rooted in small details, that adds up to make a grand, huge picture. And so as far as what this truly means for the individual, only they could tell me, or they could tell us, once they've realized, recognized, and discovered what this means for themselves. And so there's a little exploration into this diagonal. This is the unique perspective of this individual. There is this flexible risk taker who is immature, that actually is clued into the needs of the world around them, the needs of the people around them. And through focusing in on details, concentrating on things that are truly important, one can stabilize this field of unique perspective. And so there's also 4 other planets remaining. There's the personality Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Neptune. The personality Mercury gives the style of communication for this being. This is the 13-6. This is a gate of secrets. This is the optimist. This is somebody who can pick up on things that people have not told them. They can read between the lines, and they can even communicate through their optimism. They can communicate things that other people have not told them, that will benefit the people who did not tell them the secret that they were able to intuitively pick up on. This is a 6th line, so you know it's seeing through the whole circuit. It's not just relating with its own individual stuff. It's seeing through the whole circuitry of energy flow. And in this gate of secrets, there is this capacity to hear things that haven't been said, to read between the lines, and to pick up on those little nuances And with this person's optimism, they can communicate a way that can actually pull others into their perspective. Next up, we have the personality Venus. This is in the 37 in the 6th line. These are the standards, the values of family and having purpose. So for this person to have a stabilized field in the ordinary world, not just in some kind of magical human design world where everybody's following their inner authority and type strategy. However, this is for existing in the world that we find ourselves. This is the relationship to family, being able to see that there's a bigger purpose here. We are part of a bigger picture. And if we work together, if we support each other, we can survive, we can continue. And so for this person to honor their values of friendship and family and support in a mutual way, this is the standard that others can see from them. Next up is the personality Saturn, or rather the personality Jupiter. This is called the law or the protection of the individual. This is the innocence of the self in the line of selflessness. Selflessness, not selfishness, selflessness. This 25, this gate is actually in every single inanimate piece of matter. It has to do with the blood of the universe itself. It's like the physical materia from which everything is made from. And it has to do with their laws. Their laws have to do with their ability to be selfless, with their ability to exist in an unintentionality way, to exist without strong intention. So to allow that, it's not a mental process, to allow that you don't have to decide every single little detail and work towards your goals. You can allow yourself to be present in the moment, and you don't have to be strongly intentioned all the time. In fact, you might find some protection from allowing yourself to engage in innocence. I have no agenda, I have no plan, I'm just being myself. And then the risk-taking will come out from that. Or the wisdom around other people's risk-taking will come out from that, and the ability to share in a selfless way, the wisdom learned from other people taking risks. So many people can benefit from knowing which risks to not take. And that's something this person is capable of sharing. Now this last one, this one is fun. This one is the personality Neptune. This provides the misinformation field for a person. And this is their reasonableness. This is their ability to be sensible, to make sense of things. For this 41st gate is the start codon. This is the beginning of life and the human experiential way. This is the desire and the hunger for life. Which is so funny when you think about this contraction and decrease as the name for it. Might be a bit of a mystical little piece of evidence or a clue. However, this is fundamentally about desire and reasonableness. In exaltation, this is the imagination to make the very best out of very little. Coolness, where the energy to release feelings is selective. And so for this person, there is reasonableness, there is the ability to express their feelings, there is their desires, and there is this potential for so many people around them to create a misinformation field around their desires, around their reasonable nature, around their sensibilities. And so for the individual living this life, it's deeply important to not allow the sensibilities of others to get in the way of your own. You have your own unique truth, and only in honoring that can you find stability. And in fact, you might see many people getting worked up around your desires or your methods of releasing emotions. And I say to you, pay them no mind. Let them go. They can have their problems and they can be wrong. It's not a problem for you. At least it doesn't have to be, you know? So that is a taste of the personality magic square and what can be said from this field right here. Something very interesting to be aware of is how up here on the top, we have the sun and the earth of the personality. This forms the inner character of an individual. Below that, we have the nodes. This forms the environment in which that character is placed. And below that, we have this resonance square, what I've been talking about, what's going on inside of this person as a unique imprint, as a unique pathway to truth. And of course, it's only by honoring the inner authority and the type strategy that anything I've just said could even be possible. It's only when the body is living its life that this resonance field has a chance to really express itself and to be itself. If the mind is ruling the life from its openness, then this person is going to be busy proving themselves to other people over things that don't matter, because they're looking for direction outside of themselves and they're holding on to love from people that isn't good for them. And so if this person is preoccupied holding on to things that don't matter to prove their worth to other people, they'll never get to access their true adaptability. And if they trust their body and they trust their sacral response, there's a potential for a whole new situation to come through in which many other people could learn what is worth fighting for in life and what is not worth your effort, what is not worth your energy. So don't waste your time. And so there's been a taste of what I can say from a chart. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you'd like to learn any more, feel free to reach out. Perhaps we could have a private session and dive into any aspect of all these details that enthrall you or captivate you or give you stress or problems in life. And we can just talk about it and work through it and come to a shared understanding so that we no longer have to suffer and experience so much resistance. So I hope you're having a great day. Bye for now.